Ever experienced the painful betrayal by someone you believed to be a friend? It's a harsh truth that not everyone who smiles at you has your best interests at heart. Occasionally, people wear a mask of friendship in order to take advantage of. In today's video, we'll dive deep into this difficult subject and present 7 telltale signs that someone is abusing your friendship rather than cherishing. This is about realizing the harsh reality of deceptive relationships. Stay with us as we assist you in identifying and removing yourself from these detrimental relationships. It's important to prioritize your well-being and surround yourself with sincerity. Hit subscribe to join us on this journey of self-discovery and personal development and discover how to tell the difference between genuine friends and people who are only in your life to serve their own interest. Zero tripping and manipulation. Ask yourself why your kindness should be used against you and why your empathy should be someone else's weapon of choice. This isn't just about being forced into uncomfortable situations. It's about someone purposefully undermining your self-worth, questioning your judgment, and making you doubt your own feelings. Take a moment to reflect on the times you've been cornered with phrases like "you'd do this if you really cared," or "I've done so much for you. Can't you do this one thing for me?" These aren't just phrases. They're hooks baited with guilt designed to reel you into doing things against your will. It's a gradual poison that saps your self-esteem and makes you feel helpless. But here's the thing. The first step to breaking free from this emotional chess game is realizing it. It's about realizing that your emotions count and that you are valuable. When faced with these circumstances, do you continue to bend until you break? Or do you stand firm and reclaim your right to choose how you want to feel? Remember that confronting manipulative tactics isn't just an act of rebellion. It's an act of self-love. It's about saying, "I am more than someone's emotional plaything. I deserve better." Respect, trust, and mutual understanding are the flowers that bloom in a garden of healthy relationships, not guilt and manipulation. In addition to safeguarding your emotional health, confronting this truth head-on will set you on the path to happier, healthier relationships. It's a difficult path, but one that will eventually bring you to a place where people value and respect your feelings rather than take advantage of them. After all, isn't that what we should all strive for? Selective availability. Every relationship has a rhythm, a give and take that keeps the music playing. But what happens when the dance becomes one-sided? You're always there. A constant presence willing to listen, offer assistance, or give your time. But when the roles are reversed and you're the one reaching out, all that's left is a cold, resounding silence. Consider the numerous occasions you've stood as a pillar of support. The innumerable moments you've given without hesitation. Your phone buzzes, and it's them again, needing advice, a favor. Yet, when you're down and everything seems to be weighing down on you, where are they? Your calls and texts drift into an unanswered digital nothingness, and if they do reply, it's a quick diversion from what you need. This disparity. It's a hard pill to swallow to realize that your care and concern go in a direction where nothing comes back. But this selective availability is a screaming red flag, a signal that says you're there for them, but they're not there for you. This is a purposeful ignorance of your wants and feelings, not just a carelessness. The odds are stacked against you and your efforts. That's a wake-up call. Everything seems to be taken for granted, even your empathy and time. A moment of truth. Do you and your partner nurture each other mutually, or are you merely there for convenience? Or you stand in for the requirements of another? It's time to pose the difficult questions while gazing in the mirror. What is your position and the extent of your self-giving that you are willing to give without expecting the same in return? This is about you, your value, and your boundaries, not only about them. It's a moment to decide whether you're valued as you should be, whether the scales can be balanced, or if it's time to step away and find a rhythm that respects both the giving and the receiving. The persistent lack of respect. A subtle but powerful signal that is often overlooked in the complex dance of human connections is the persistent lack of respect. Imagine being in a relationship where your time and emotions are taken for granted and your worth is constantly undervalued. Isn't it upsetting when someone routinely cancels plans at the last minute, arrives late or worse, doesn't bother showing up? This habit of ignoring your needs isn't just rude. It's a red flag that indicates a one-sided relationship. When someone you value treats you like an afterthought, it hurts because respect is the foundation of a sincere relationship. Being courteous is not enough. We also need to view and treat one another as equal. When someone consistently prioritizes their needs over yours, it's not just a sign of disrespect. It also indicates that you're in a relationship with someone who views you as an option rather than a priority. However, let's face it, we're all human and mistakes happen. Sometimes we forget important dates or become a little too self-centered. These are the exceptions, not the rule in a healthy relationship. In contrast, someone who repeatedly treats you disrespectfully isn't just having a bad day. They're exhibiting a pattern of disregard. So, what should you do when faced with this ongoing lack of respect? It's important to recognize that relationships should elevate rather than depress you, and that you have the authority and right to end your relationship with someone who doesn't value you as we navigate the complexities of human interactions. Recall that it's important to acknowledge our own needs as well as how others treat us. Relationships should be a source of strength, not stress. They should be built on mutual respect, not one-sided efforts. So ask yourself, are you being respected or are you being taken for granted? The answer might just be the key to unlocking healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Superficial bonding. When you're conversing with someone and everything feels superficial, it's an indication of a shallow bond. It's similar to skating on thin ice, where there's a hollow area beneath the light banter and laughs but no true connection. The dance of shadows has recognizable steps, yet the rhythm never varies. Now let's illustrate this. When you meet someone, the conversation flows, but it's all about the newest movies, what to eat for dinner, and so on. Weeks or months go by, and you're still stuck with the same script. You have no idea what their dreams, fears, or things that keep them up at night are. It's like when actors in a play never break character. Why does this happen? It's a mask, a defense mechanism that keeps their true selves hidden. It's annoying, isn't it? To devote your time and energy to what is essentially a shadow of a relationship, and then find that it's out of reach, leaving you to keep poking around, but never really getting anywhere. This isn't just about feeling alone in a crowd. It's also about realizing when a relationship is stuck in the shallow end. It prompts you to wonder, this is it. Am I investing in a mirage? But here's the really exciting part. Once observed, it is irreversible. That insight serves as a wake-up call. It's time to confront your innermost thoughts. Are you prepared to accept less than what you deserve? Or are you content to stay on the surface and long to go deeper? Transient relationships are a signal for a fork in the path. It is a brave decision to leave the comfortable and known in search of something more genuine. One path leads to more of the same, while the other leads into the unknown where genuine connections might be waiting. But when you stop to think about it, isn't that what we all want? To be understood and to share our inner lives with someone who truly cares, finding someone with whom to connect on a deeper level than just a conversation partner opens the door to the possibility of something more meaningful and richer. Yes, it might be frightening to open yourself and risk not being received in the same manner, but isn't it worth it to find a place where you can express your worries, hopes, and dreams? Absence in crucial moments. The first thing that springs to mind when you consider the relationships we have with others is probably the laughter we have over a cup of coffee, or the reassuring silence during a long drive. However, what happens when life throws a curveball and things get difficult? Do these same people support you then, or do they disappear like shadows at noon? Let's examine a situation. When you reach out to someone for support during a personal crisis, what you really find is an empty place where you anticipated your friend or partner to be. You hear words, yes, but they seem hollow and lack sincerity. The true nature of a relationship emerges in these vulnerable times when things go tough. Isn't it amazing how silence can speak louder than words? It's as like your struggle is an annoying disruption in their lives. The silence, when there should be support, is deafening. It conveys a message of lack of empathy and apathy that is more painful than any harsh language. This understanding is difficult to accept because it makes us face the hard reality that possibly our emotional commitment in the relationship was a one-way street, and that what we believe to be a deep mutual connection may have been merely the other person's surface-level convenience. However, there is a bright side. As you navigate the complexities of human connections, ask yourself, who is really there for me when the going gets tough? These are the relationships worth cherishing, the ones that will weather life's storms by your side. Realizing this painful truth opens our eyes and empowers us to seek out and nurture bonds that are truly reciprocal. It also pushes us to value ourselves enough to demand relationships where emotional support and presence aren't just expected, but are given freely and with love. Remember, it's not about finding people who will never let you down. It's about finding those who, when you do fall, are right there to help you back up. If you've made it this far, you're one of the few who are truly seeking growth. Let's continue. Being utilized as a means to an end. This isn't about helping others or providing mutual support. Rather, it's about feeling like a tool in their toolbox that is only used when it's convenient to do. You're always the first to come to when someone needs assistance, advice, or a favor. But when the tables turn and you find yourself in need, there's a deafening silence. Your phone doesn't ring and your messages go unanswered. You begin to wonder if you are valued for who you are or just for what you can do. This realization can be disheartening and leave you feeling a bit betrayed. You remember instances where you went above and above to help and provide assistance, but where was the reciprocity when you needed it? The lack of this mutual respect and care indicates a one-sided relationship in which you're more of a resource than a... Acknowledging this truth is difficult because it makes you question the relationship's sincerity and depth. It serves as a wake-up call to reevaluate your boundaries and weigh the value of relationships that depend more on your utility than your... Even though it hurts, taking this step is essential for your mental well-being and for building genuinely caring and reciprocal relationships. The lack of detailed personal interest. You can tell when someone genuinely cares about you because they will be there to support you through difficult times and will light up when you tell them stories. When two people are equally invested in each other's lives, a genuine connection feels like a two-way street. However, this isn't always the case, and sometimes you find yourself with someone who doesn't care about your well-being or your thoughts. You hear them talk about their problems and their victories all the time, and you feel more like a mirror than a friend. This scenario, which is all too often, is that you find yourself with someone who is more interested in using you as a convenience than as a confidant for your stories. Finding out that your hardships and accomplishments don't seem to matter unless they directly benefit them is a bitter pill to take. Their life's background rather than a co-star in a common story. In relationships, the lack of true attention and empathy is like a silent alarm that makes you examine the people in your life more closely to see if they respect you for who you are or what you can provide for them. Do you feel like you're just finding a balance in your interactions, or are they more asymmetrical? Although such realizations might cause a wide range of emotions, including grief and rage, there is a bright side. Seeking healthier, more rewarding relationships begins with identifying these warning signs. In the end, it's about realizing your worth and making sure that people around you recognize and value you for who you truly are. Remember, you deserve to be more than just a prop in someone else's show. You deserve a relationship based on respect, interest, and caring. Relationships are pieces of a mosaic. When you find yourself doubting someone's sincerity time and time again, it's like a red flag flapping in the wind. How many times have you felt alone in a room with them? Some bright with excitement, others tinged with unease. It's difficult to admit that someone you depend on is taking advantage of you, but it's a reality that needs to be addressed when their absence from your life in times of need speaks louder than words. When you say no in a relationship, do you feel as though you're shattering a taboo in a healthy bond? No is more than just a word. It's a declaration of your value. It's about expressing your boundaries, and if they're routinely crossed or ignored, it's a clear indication that the balance in your relationship is off. Determining what's acceptable to you is a sort of self-love. It goes beyond simply imposing boundaries on others. Confrontation is never easy, especially when emotions cloud your judgment, but it's crucial in a relationship that feels more exhausting than rewarding. How can you talk about your emotions without starting a fight? It's a fine balance between being truthful and non-judgmental. Sometimes it's better to express, "This is how I feel," than "This is what you did wrong." This candid discussion has the potential to improve things, but what if nothing changes? In that case, getting help becomes your lifeline. It's important to get perspective in addition to simply venting. A friend, a relative, or a therapist can serve as a mirror, illuminating realities that you may be unaware of. They serve as a reminder that the opinions of others do not determine your value. Understanding that you deserve a relationship that isn't just about taking, but also about giving a balance of love, respect, and mutual growth can help you realize that your value is intrinsic and shines brightly even in partnerships that ultimately fail to recognize it. The underlying fact we must all embrace is that you are worthy of relationships filled with mutual respect, and if these words resonate with you, then starting a journey to properly comprehend and negotiate the complex world of human relationships is both tough and gratifying. I warmly encourage you to become a part of our Stoic community by and pushing the notification bell. Leave in the comments section which signals you have encountered in your life. In an effort to explain the patterns that guide our relationships, we will explore the depths of human behavior and emotions as we travel deeper into the world of Stoicism. Your participation is essential to our continuous pursuit of knowledge and personal development. It's crucial to keep in mind that self-awareness and respect for others are the cornerstones of happy, healthy relationships. By realizing this and acting accordingly, we can create bonds that benefit those around us, as well as ourselves. Thank you for watching.